Fiona, do you have a second? I have something I really need to talk with you about.
Oh, hi, Sarah. What are you wanting to talk about?
Can you let me come and stay the night tonight?
What?
I was kicked out of my boyfriend's house just a second ago.
What? Wasn't he the man you were getting ready to marry, though?
Yeah, that's the one.
You were going on and on about how you'd never let him get away from you, though, because he has all that money. Yet now you've been kicked out of his house? What happened there?
To tell you the truth, I got pregnant on accident.
You're pregnant? So then, what got you kicked out of his place was...
That's right. It's not his baby that I'm pregnant with.
What the hell do you think you're doing, Sarah? I know that in the past you were a bit of a wild card when it came to men, but you're still up to that crap?
Hey, come on now. It's too late for us to be talking about all of that.
No, it's not, Sarah. What you've done is going to affect you for the rest of your life now.
All right, shut up now and let me come over. Having to be pregnant and walking around in the streets at night is tough for me.
Well, just get your butt over here. Can I start to tell Mom and Dad about all of this so that we can figure out what we're going to do with you?
What? Oh, you plan to tell them both about this?
Well, of course I do. They both need to know. And we're going to have to hear about who the real father of that child you're carrying is, too.
It's all such a pain in the ass, though.
You're the one that asked for it all.
Well, right now I'm heading over to your place. I should be there soon, so have the door open for me.
Jeez, just be careful on your way over here.
Fiona, you can do this on your way home, but could you buy me some snacks, please?
You want me to buy you some snacks?
All of the snacks you have in the cupboards here. Well, I went and ate them all already.
You went and ate all of that which was in there?
Some of the symptoms that I've been getting make me feel really hungry all the time and give me an appetite for sweet and salty things.
I get that some women have that happen when they're pregnant. Last night you were also going through the fridge and eating random things in there, right? If you start eating too much, it's not going to be good for your health.
Just shut up and bring me more snacks.
Not happening. I have heard from a lot of people, including medical professionals, that gaining a lot of weight while pregnant is not a good thing. So could you please think about that a bit more while avoiding all that food?
What? You're so stingy.
By the way, Sarah, how long do you plan on staying at my house?
What?
I've been asking you over and over again about who the father of that baby is, but you just keep beating around the bush about it and dodging all my questions. Mom and Dad told you already that if you're not going to talk to me about what happened, they want you to get out of my house and go back to their place, right? They told me that they have your old room all cleaned up and ready for you, so you need to go back there before your belly gets too big and it's hard for you to move around.
I'm not going back to the countryside.
Listen, Sarah, this isn't just my house that you're living in right now, but also my husband Connor's house. I already feel bad enough that he has to hear about all the drama you've created in the family now getting pregnant like that. But neither of us want you sitting around in this house when you're the one that caused all this drama.
Then how about you get out of the house?
Excuse me?
Here's the thing. Actually, the father of this baby inside me will probably be coming around to talk with you about it. There was just a few things that had to be done first, and that's why I never said anything to you about him.
Things that had to be done?
I'll go into a lot more detail about all of this later with my baby's father.
Well, if you're finally going to open up and talk, that's all that really matters.
Now, make sure to bring me those snacks home.
Not happening. Sarah, can we talk for a minute?
What is it?
I'm at the front of the house right now, but my key isn't able to turn the lock to open the door. I wonder if the lock is broken or something. Sarah, you're inside the house right now, correct? I'm sorry to have to ask you to get up, but could you please come and open the door for me?
Nope. I can't open that door.
Excuse me?
Because we went and had the lock changed to a new one, which is why your key no longer works on the front door.
What are you going on about right now?
I'm not going to let you into this house right now. I can't, that's all.
Sarah, are you upset with me because I said I wouldn't be stopping to get you any snacks on my way home from work?
I actually don't really care about that anymore. I went out and got some snacks of my own.
Then what the hell is this about? Why are you not coming to let me into my own house? The house is both Connor's and mine, and we have been living here together ever since we got married. And to be frank, there is no reason you should be kicking me out of my own house right now when all you do is lay around.
I see. You just think that I'm laying around here.
Sarah? If you don't stop acting out like that right now, I am actually going to get pissed off, all right?
The one that should stop acting like a total idiot is you, actually.
Excuse me?
Because the one that actually went and changed the lock to this house was Connor himself.
Wait, Connor did this?
Today, Connor left work earlier than usual after using some of his PTO off to be here. He wanted to be back here before you so that he could prepare to have you kicked out of the house for good.
I'm being kicked out of my own house then?
We made sure to send all of your things that were here to Mom and Dad's house for you. Oh, and the moving services will charge you once they have everything moved into their house, so please make sure to pay them.
What the hell are you saying right now? I literally have no clue what this is all about, Sarah.
You still aren't catching on to what I've been hinting at? You should have been wondering why I've been here laying around your house all this time instead of going back to Mom and Dad's place, right?
What?
Come on already. You are such a dumbass that I can't get anywhere with you anymore, so I'll just go ahead and tell you what's happened.
Tell me what's happened.
This baby that I've been pregnant with for a bit now's father is your husband, Connor.
What? Hold it right there. Why would you say that Connor's the father? Why the hell would he be the father?
You're so shocked, aren't you? This is getting entertaining for me now.
Not a single thing about what you're doing and saying is entertaining for me, though.
Since I'm sure that you won't trust what I'm saying about your own husband being the father of my baby right now, allow me to send you a picture to prove things first.
What is this?
This is Connor and I on the couch after he came and brought me a bouquet to celebrate 1 year of us being together with one another.
1 year? So what you're saying is that you've been going out with Connor around the same time he and I got married to one another?
That's exactly right. So with all of that in mind now, I'm going to be the one giving birth to the person who will take over Connor's company after he retires, so you don't have to bother with him anymore.
What? Connor's company?
From today onwards, he and I will be treating this house as our earthly paradise, and there is nothing you can do to stop us. Actually, you just being around the house right now is a bother to me, so could you please get lost now? The divorce papers are out in the mailbox for you, so make sure to grab them before you head back to Mom and Dad's house.
So you guys even went ahead and prepared the divorce papers?
Of course we did.
There's even a letter in here from Connor for me.
He wrote about how he wants you to divorce him, right? As for myself, I would like to make Connor my husband before I end up giving birth to our baby. So could you please make sure to take those papers to the courthouse as soon as possible for me?
I see. All right, then I'm going to take the papers there and drop them off right now.
What? Seriously?
In about 30 minutes or so, Connor will go back to being a single man again.
Hooray!
This means that Connor can also be fired now as well, right?
What? What exactly do you mean by that? How come you said he could be fired now?
Goodbye.
Fiona? Fiona? Hey, what's going on here?
Okay, what is it?
Tell me what the hell Connor being fired from his job is all about. How could the CEO be fired from his own company like that?
Huh? You thought that Connor was the CEO of the company? Where did you end up hearing about that from?
That company is his father's company, right? And there is no way that he could be fired from his own company when he's the one that runs it all as the CEO now.
What are you actually going on about right now? Connor's father was only ever a basic office worker.
Huh?
So that's why you were saying something about me not having to worry about who would be taking over the company next, right?
What? But Connor said that he's the CEO and was made so after his father stepped down and retired. What?
Oh, so he still has the wrong idea then.
The wrong idea?
I explained things to him so many times, over and over again, yet he still doesn't understand a thing.
What are you talking about, Fiona?
This company that Connor's been working for, right? Well, it just so happens to be the company our cousin Sam owns right now.
Wait, Sam? Sam's been running a company of his own for a while now?
Hold on, you never heard anything about this from anyone?
I never heard anything at all before about that. This is my first time hearing about it.
I think he actually started the company around 7 years ago or so.
Then why would something like that lead to Connor thinking that he would become the CEO of the company soon?
I'm not really sure where the best place to start explaining all of this to you would be. Well, let's start here. Around half a year before Connor and I got married to one another, his company he'd been working at before ended up having some major layoffs. And after that had happened to him, he was having a really difficult time finding himself a new job. And so I went and spoke with Sam about giving him a job in his company. So he was really only able to start working for Sam because of the connections I made for him. Well, since that day he first started to work for Sam, a lot has happened with Connor. He got this idea in his head that Sam would be single for the rest of his life and never have anyone to give his company to after he left. And so Connor thinks that he will be the next one in line, even though that's far from the truth.
Huh?
I have really been trying to comprehend whatever Connor's been thinking that's led him to that conclusion. Connor does have a little sister, right? But she's not even working in the same field as him. And since Sam doesn't ever want to get married, Connor thinks that he's never going to have kids, which is true to the best of my knowledge. And that leaves you and I as Sam's only cousins, right? In other words, the only ones who could really be in line next to take over his company would be me. And that crazy man who thinks he's going to be the CEO, even though Sam has never even said anything to him about it at all yet.
I'm having a hard time understanding all of this.
The reason why Connor had been fired from his last job wasn't even due to the layoffs anyway. He was fired because he couldn't do his job correctly.
What?
There is no way Sam would ever let Connor, a completely useless man, take over his company after him.
What the hell?
Well, now that you're aware of all that, and now that I've had to divorce Connor over you and him making a baby together and stealing my house from me, there's no reason for Sam to keep him in his company anymore. It's not like he was a full-time worker for the company anyways. He was only working close to 15 hours a week.
So he was part-timing?
If he had actually taken his work there seriously, then one day he would have been made into a full-time company employee.
No way. I thought he was a way better option than my ex-boyfriend and would have a lot more money for me.
Huh? So that's your reason for going and stealing my husband from me?
That's right. Had I known the truth, had I been told the truth about Connor, I would have never even bothered with him. That's it. I just have to go and talk with Sam myself and convince him to hire Connor back into his company. Like you, I'm also Sam's cousin, and that means that he'll be happy to listen to all the things I have to say about why I took Connor from you and everything, right?
Wait, you really think that's going to happen?
Why do you say that?
Do you want to know why Sam is most likely never going to be with anyone ever again? 10 years ago, when he was just getting ready to marry his fiancée, he found out that she'd been cheating on him with his friend, who went and stabbed him in the back and took her. Having to listen to someone like you now, who's done something very similar to what his friend did, I don't even think you're going to be able to get in a word off in front of him before he tells you to screw off, right?
No way.
Well, now that I'm divorced from Connor, I have nothing to do with you both anymore. I'm cutting ties to you as well now, so you both actually screw off now and go figure out all your troubles yourself, please.
Wait a second.
There's one last thing. That house you're living in, I just finished having the lease on it canceled.
What? But isn't this place under Connor's name?
At the very beginning it was, but after he was fired from his job and no longer making the money to be able to afford rent, I stepped in and paid it for him, while also putting my name down on the place as the sole tenant. And ever since then, I've been the one paying the rent for it. Seems that even Connor himself forgot such an important thing happened, huh?
The actual hell is going on here?
Now I happen to still have a job to get to. I'm going to turn off my phone now.
Wait a second, Fiona. Early this morning, I went to the courthouse and handed the marriage papers. But I don't need a lousy husband like Connor anymore. I'll give him back to you now, so you do something about all of this. Fiona, please.
While I ignored my sister's desperate pleas, a lot unfolded between her and Connor. After I ended the lease on the house, Connor and Sarah decided to squat there, hoping to stay in the home for longer. They lasted about 2 weeks before the property owner showed up, only to find them barricaded in the bathroom. The owner, frustrated and unable to handle the situation on his own, had to call the police. It took some negotiation with a kind officer who explained that refusing to leave would only make things worse. Before they finally relented, they gathered their things and left. Connor then made the choice to move Sarah to his parents' house, where they would stay indefinitely. Sarah, desperate to escape, wanted a divorce more than anything, but both Connor and his parents refused to let that happen. With no options left, Sarah reached out to me, begging for help. But I had reached my limit and blocked her number. She was trapped, still pregnant with Connor's child, and now confined to his parents' house with no way to escape. The situation only worsened. Sarah wasn't capable of doing basic chores, and after giving birth, her mother-in-law took the baby from her, expressing her hatred for Sarah and her desire to see her gone. Despite all this, Sarah and Connor now spend every day working tirelessly to pay off all their debts and try to move out. They were too busy for their child, but all they could do was keep working, hoping things might improve someday.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Janelle, pick up. Pick up the phone right now.
Mom, I'm on the train. What is it?
Don't tell me you're still seeing that man.
Huh?
That Duke guy, the one who barely finished middle school. I saw you walking around with him like everything's fine. Didn't I tell you to break it off with him immediately? A man with no education like that has no place in this family.
Are we really doing this again? Why do you always make everything about education?
Because education is everything, that's why. He might be cute, sure, I'll give you that. But that's all he's got, a pretty face and no future. I can't believe you're being this foolish. Break up with him already.
Mom, seriously, did you forget?
Forget what?
I told you if you couldn't accept me marrying Duke, I was cutting ties with you. And by the way, we already registered our marriage.
Excuse me? What did you just say?
I already told you this. I reported it to you. Did that just slip your mind?
Divorce him right now.
What?
I'm in the middle of arranging a marriage meeting for you.
I'm sorry, what now?
Honestly, you've always been so selfish ever since you were a child.
And you haven't?
The only time you actually listened to me was when you finished college.
I didn't go to college because of you. The school you were so desperate for me to attend just happened to be my first choice, that's all. Let's not pretend you even knew what faculties that university had. You just picked it based on prestige and name recognition. It was laughable.
Well, in the end, you did go, didn't you? So that means you followed my guidance.
What kind of logic is that?
But this is where your selfish little rebellion ends. I will not stand by and let you ruin your future. You are going to divorce that man and marry Matt.
Matt? Wait, you mean the guy 3 doors down? The one in that huge house?
Exactly, your childhood friend, that Matt.
Sure, Matt and I were close growing up, but that was just as friends.
Maybe before, but who knows what could happen now? Besides, the whole reason I made sure you went to university was so you could eventually marry into that family.
Excuse me? What does going to college have to do with marrying Matt?
You need a certain level of refinement if you're going to marry into a good household. That's why I insisted you get your degree.
You're seriously not making any sense. And anyway, Matt doesn't see me that way. He never has.
That can change. You just need to try harder. That's why we're starting with the marriage meeting.
This isn't just absurd. It's on another level.
Enough backtalk. I don't want to hear another word in defense of that undereducated man you married. You are going to divorce him. Do you hear me?
Hey, Janelle, long time no see. You got a minute?
Matt? Wow, yeah, it has been a while. Wait, is this about my mom? She's been on and on about some arranged marriage thing. Oh, let me guess, she dragged you into it?
Yeah, I figured she might have mentioned it to you. It sounds like you already know the deal.
Ugh, I'm so sorry. She's being a total menace, isn't she?
Honestly, yeah, if I'm being blunt, she's been a huge headache. Mostly for my mom, actually. Every time they run into each other, your mom starts pressuring her, demanding we lock in a date for this supposed marriage meeting.
That sounds exactly like her.
And get this, when I told her I'm already seeing someone, you know what she said? Oh my, Matt went and found himself a girlfriend on his own? Like it was some kind of betrayal.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. Then she added, well, we'll just have to suffer through it, won't we? But I still fully intend to make us family. No matter what it takes, our kids must marry each other so we can be related. That was word for word.
My God. Okay, now I have a headache. I'm really sorry, Matt. She's impossible.
Don't worry, I get it. You're the one stuck with her for 25 years. I'm just getting a glimpse now, and I already want to disappear. Honestly, my parents keep saying they're amazed you didn't turn out just like her. They actually admire you for that.
Yeah, I owe that to my dad, honestly. He was the more balanced one. Though once I got my first job and moved out, he finally divorced her. Guess even he had a limit.
Yeah, I remember. That was the talk of the neighborhood for a while.
Honestly, the divorce was a blessing in disguise. With all the chaos, I managed to sneak out of that house without much resistance.
You still talk to your dad?
All the time. He and Duke actually get along really well.
Glad to hear that. Seriously, that's good to know.
Anyway, don't feel like you have to entertain any of this arranged marriage nonsense. Just ignore her. You've got your own wedding coming up, and once that happens, well, maybe she'll finally give up. Though knowing her, probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on her letting go that easily.
God, even though I'm her daughter, I still feel like I should apologize on her behalf. If I just told her what Duke actually does for a living, maybe she'd shift her focus. But honestly, I'm not ready to deal with that fallout either.
Don't stress about it. We've all decided not to engage. My parents and I are on the same page. We're just brushing her off whenever she brings it up.
Thanks, Matt, really. And I'm sorry you're stuck in the middle of this. But if anything gets worse or she crosses the line, let me know. I'll handle it.
I appreciate that. Anyway, I'll let you get back to your day.
All right, talk soon. Take care.
Janelle, great news! The wedding date is set!
Wait, what? Mom, what wedding?
Matt's, of course. First Sunday of next month. Isn't that just perfect?
What are you talking about?
Don't be silly. Your wedding with Matt. Isn't this exciting? Everything's falling into place just like it was meant to.
Hold on. You can't be serious.
Why wouldn't I be? It's already been a month. I figured you and that dropout have split by now, right? But I never imagined you and Matt would skip the engagement process and just jump straight into the ceremony. Honestly, I'm impressed. Leave it to the rich to move quickly.
Are you even listening to yourself? I haven't divorced Duke. And Matt, he's engaged to someone else.
What?
Yeah, shocking, isn't it?
Wait, hold on. Janelle?
No, enough. Seriously, just stop.
But...
Do you have any idea what people in the neighborhood say about you? They call you things like the delusion engine, that deranged rumor mill with legs, walking disaster of convenience. And you know what? I don't even blame them anymore.
Excuse me?
You've caused trouble everywhere. You nearly got sued for defamation because you couldn't keep your mouth shut in a mom's group. You embarrassed yourself and me at your part-time job so badly they had to file for damages. And that's just this year. Do you know how many times Dad and I had to apologize for you? How many times we've been humiliated cleaning up the wreckage you leave behind?
I was just...
You were just being thoughtless, as usual. You never think about the people you steamroll, and now you're dragging Matt's family into your little fantasy? Are you really that shameless?
I just wanted what was best for you.
No, you wanted what you think looks good. You don't see me. You see a doll you can dress up and marry off like some social trophy. Even after Dad left, even after everything, you still haven't changed.
Wait, you're saying you're not marrying Matt?
Of course I'm not. He's engaged to someone else. You knew that. He told you straight to your face, and you still spun your own version of the truth because reality didn't suit you.
Oh, that's not true. Matt said his parents were troubled by his decision.
Matt's parents are thrilled for him. They like his fiancée. They've welcomed her into the family already. The only one who's troubled is you, because the story isn't going the way you wrote it in your head.
But this isn't how it was supposed to go.
No, it's not, because you don't get to plan other people's lives. Not Matt's, not mine, not anymore.
You're really staying with that man, that Duke?
Yes. And you know what? He's kind, he's grounded, and unlike you, he actually listens when I speak. He's not some cardboard cutout from a list of social checkboxes.
He doesn't even have a degree.
And you don't have a clue what respect looks like. Which one do you think matters more to me?
You're making a mistake.
Maybe I am, but it's my mistake to make. So stop trying to live your second life through me. Stop rewriting other people's choices to suit your fantasies. And please, stop humiliating yourself and dragging innocent people down with you.
Janelle!
Matt is not your son-in-law, and he never will be. So if you still have any shred of dignity left, do us both a favor. Drop it, before you ruin any more relationships than you already have.
Janelle, you won't believe what I just saw.
Let me guess, something else you completely misunderstood?
That dropout! He was in a Hollywood movie! And not just any movie, he was playing the son of the Duke Matsura! What the hell is going on?
Oh, so you finally noticed.
Oh, don't play smug with me. What is going on?
Duke is a Hollywood actor. Surprise.
What?
Yeah, his stage name is Duke Davis. He's a rising star in the same agency as your precious Matsu.
Wait, what?
Wow, even now you're only interested because it connects to your favorite celebrity. Typical.
But he's a dropout. How is someone without a high school diploma working alongside Matsu?
It's more common than you think. A lot of young actors drop out when their careers take off in their teens. He's been working nonstop since he was 17. There was literally no time for school.
I see. Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Because I knew you'd act like this. It was easier to let you stew in your elitist assumptions than give you more reasons to manipulate people.
So you're saying my son-in-law is Matsu's junior? Oh my God. Oh, that means... Wait, does that mean I might actually meet him?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because in case you somehow missed the memo, you're the problem. You crashed Matt's wedding yesterday.
Well, yes, I did, but only because I thought it was outrageous to let him marry someone else when you should have been the bride.
Matt has never been my fiancé. You convinced yourself of that. And because of your delusion, you ruined someone's real wedding and traumatized two families in the process.
But if Duke's connected to Matsu, then I suppose your marriage is acceptable after all. Yes, I can support it now. So when do I get to meet him? Maybe you can arrange a dinner with Matsu?
You really haven't learned a damn thing, have you?
What?
You're about to be served. Matt's family is pursuing legal action for emotional damages and disruption of a private event. You'll be paying actual compensation this time. There's no more shielding you. Not from Dad, not from me.
Wait, what?
For years, Dad and I cleaned up after you, apologizing to neighbors, your coworkers, random strangers who made the mistake of talking to you for more than 3 seconds. But that ends now. You caused this mess, you clean it up.
Janelle, wait, don't be like this. What about Matsu?
You'll never meet him. Let it go.
But Why?
Because it's impossible. Literally, physically, logistically.
What does that mean?
He's based in Hollywood full-time, and guess what? Duke is following in his footsteps. We moved 10 days ago.
Moved? Where?
We're in the UK now.
The UK?
Yep, Dad's been promoted. He's the branch manager for his company's London division now. And Duke and I flew out with him after a small family send-off. Just the three of us. Dinner in LA before the flight, then gone.
You left without saying anything?
You would have made a scene. It was the only way.
Fine, then I'll come there too.
Don't even think about it.
What?
You're not welcome. You won't get our address, you won't get our phone numbers, and even if you show up, you'll be turned away.
Janelle, don't do this. I'm your mother.
That doesn't give you a free pass to destroy people. You don't get to manipulate my life anymore.
You can't mean that.
I do mean it. I've given you more chances than you deserved, but this was the final straw.
Oh, please don't cut me off.
It's done. We're done. From this moment on, we're no longer family. Goodbye. My mother, in the end, never realized what had happened. But as for my husband Duke, he was actually a classmate of mine from middle school. We were both in the same drama club, and back then Duke's debut as an actor became quite the topic of conversation in our town. He had caught the attention of many, and it was a big deal at the time. But my mother, who had no interest in any celebrities except for Matsu, had no clue about it. Even though Duke had achieved some local fame, she simply never took notice, and here we are, many years later, with her still being completely oblivious. It wasn't until later that the reality of the situation hit. Matt, who had become involved in everything, ended up sending a claim for damages and compensation to my mother. At first, she was completely unaware of how serious things had become. She was still living in the world of denial, clinging to the illusion that everything would somehow work itself out. But when the lawyer appeared, things took a dramatic turn. Suddenly, my mother understood that she had no one left to turn to, and that there was no one to protect her or offer any real support. It was at that moment that the gravity of the situation hit her. She finally understood the reality of her circumstances, the things I had tried to warn her about, the consequences of her actions, the web of lies that had been spun, all came crashing down on her. She was horrified. She had ignored everything I had said, dismissed it as me being overly dramatic, but now, seeing the lawyer's formal documents and understanding the magnitude of the legal claims against her, she finally realized the truth. It was too much for her to bear, and she apparently dropped to her knees in an attempt to beg for forgiveness, terrified and frantic. But by the time that happened, it was already too late. There was no turning back. The damage had been done, and no apology could undo the mess she had created. In a desperate attempt to resolve everything, she rushed to take out a loan to pay the lump sum of the compensation. She thought that paying off the debt and covering the damages would bring her peace of mind, but the relief was fleeting. After she made the payment, thinking everything was settled, the weight of her actions still hung over her. It wasn't long before her situation got even worse. The loan she took out turned out to be with a loan shark. She hadn't bothered to do proper research, had not questioned where the money was coming from or who was providing it, and as a result, she ended up entangled with dangerous people. It's hard to even imagine what that must have been like for her. The fear of owing money to people who didn't operate within the law, people who had no mercy. One day, out of the blue, my mother disappeared, just like that. She was gone, and no one knew where she went. It was like she had simply vanished into thin air. The loan shark, the money, the bills, everything had caught up with her. I tried to find her, tried to piece together what had happened, but all I got were dead ends. People who knew her, or thought they knew her, were left with nothing but uncertainty. No one knew where she had gone, or even if she was safe.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Milo, where on earth are you, and why are you not at work? You just disappeared without saying a word.
Good afternoon, Daisy.
Don't give me that calm tone. What about the documents I asked you to prepare? Are they done?
You really are hopeless sometimes. So slow.
I'm sorry, but what documents are you referring to?
Don't play dumb with me. I left them on your desk this morning, didn't I? There was a sticky note on top that clearly said finish by noon today. But you've been missing since the start of the day. You're not even in sales. There's no reason for you to be out of the office. Where the hell are you goofing off?
I'm actually on approved leave today.
What?
I submitted my vacation request in advance, and I got your stamp of approval on the paperwork. I also marked my leave on the department's shared schedule board.
Then go ahead and cancel it and come back to the office right now.
Excuse me?
Seriously, you're going to make us miss the afternoon meeting. Get moving already.
I'm sorry, but I can't come in.
And why not?
Because I'm currently at my family's home in Wisconsin.
What?
The leave I requested was specifically to attend my grandfather's 3rd death anniversary. That's why I traveled back here.
So you'll be back tomorrow, right?
No, not quite. It's a long drive from Wisconsin, and I won't be able to make it back today and still be in shape for work tomorrow. That's why I applied for 2 full days off, today and tomorrow.
You mean you're not coming in tomorrow either?
I believe I explained all of this when I submitted the request. You reviewed it, didn't you? You stamped it yourself. You confirmed the dates.
That's not the point.
I apologize, but I need to drive soon. It's getting late and I have a long road ahead.
Wait.
I really have to go now. I'll talk to you when I'm back.
Hold on a second. What about the work I gave you? You were supposed to finish that report that's due tomorrow. Milo! Milo, do you have a minute?
Good afternoon, Daisy. What can I help you with?
I just uploaded the files for the task I want you to handle tomorrow. It's in the cloud. You can access it anytime.
What?
Our department's work can all be done remotely, can't it? As long as you've got a laptop, there's no reason you can't chip away at it during your free time. So get it done. Just ping me once you've started.
Actually, I didn't bring my laptop with me.
Excuse me?
That's kind of the point, isn't it? I'm on vacation. And while I'm off, the manager agreed to temporarily take over my workload.
What? The manager?
Yes, if you want to assign me work while I'm on leave, you'll need to discuss it with the section chief first. When I return, he'll be handing over anything that needs my attention.
But, I mean...
Also, Daisy...
What now?
I think it's time you stop dumping your own responsibilities onto your subordinates.
Excuse me?
Do you really think I haven't noticed? You've been pushing off the work you were assigned by the manager and even the department head. And then once the rest of us get it done, you present it like it was your own, like you handled it all by yourself.
So what if I did?
You can pretend all you want, but eventually the truth gets out. That kind of thing doesn't stay hidden forever.
You've got a lot of nerve.
I didn't want to have to say it this way, but Carter, who's been stuck handling most of the work you offload, is staying late nearly every night to finish things he was never supposed to be handling in the first place. And Seth, he's only been here 5 months, still new, but you shoved a task on him that no newcomer should have been forced to take on. He looked completely overwhelmed. He came to me nearly in tears asking for help. I stepped in because it was too much for him. So please, I'm asking you to reevaluate the way you've been treating your role and your team.
Who do you think you are? You don't even have a title, and you're talking like you're my superior.
You can think whatever you want about me. This isn't personal. It's about the work. And the way things are right now, the imbalance in responsibilities is hurting team performance. That's why I said something.
If you're my subordinate, then it's your duty to do the work I give you.
Carter and Seth and I, we're not your personal assistants. We work under the same team, but we all answer to the section chief and the department head too, not just you.
Hold on.
And like I said earlier, if there's a task that really needs handling by tomorrow, please speak with the section chief. Now, if you'll excuse me, my father's calling. We're in the middle of a family matter.
Don't you dare walk away from me.
You think you can just defy your superior like that? Milo!
Milo, sorry to bother you while you're on vacation. Do you have a moment? Oh, Stephen, good morning. Good morning. Is something wrong? Did something happen at work? No, nothing work-related. It's, something else entirely. Oh, all right. What's going on? I was wondering if you could take a look at my daughter's computer. Ah, do you mean the custom PC I helped you build a while back? That's the one. She's been using it more heavily lately. Apparently, she installed a drawing program and a video editing app. But ever since then, she says the computer's been running really slow. It's getting frustrating for her. Ah, I see. It sounds like the software is too heavy for the current specs. Maybe the memory or processing power aren't keeping up. Yeah, that's what I figured. Do you think there's anything you can do? Maybe some upgrades or tweaks? Well, I can't say anything definite without checking it out properly, but it doesn't sound like anything too serious. I'm fairly confident we can get it running better. That's a relief. I told her if anyone could help, it'd be you. I'll do my best. When would you like me to take a look? Is it all right if I bring it to the office tomorrow? I'll have her pack it up and I'll drop it off before lunch. Yes, that works perfectly. I'll be back at work the day after tomorrow, but I can swing by and pick it up if needed, or check it on my off hours if you're in a rush. No, there's no major rush. She's just frustrated because she's been really into her digital art and was trying out some editing for a school project. She got all excited and then hit a wall when everything started lagging. I hate seeing her discouraged. That's understandable. Sometimes these creative tools demand a lot from the system, especially the newer versions. But I'll take a look and see if we can either optimize what she has or maybe recommend a reasonable upgrade. You're a lifesaver. I appreciate it, Milo. Of course. Happy to help. It's kind of funny, you know. You built that thing from scratch and it's held up great so far, but leave it to kids to push it to its limits within a year. Yeah, that sounds about right. They get curious, start creating, and next thing you know, they're rendering full-blown videos on mid-tier hardware. Exactly. And of course, she didn't tell me any of this until it was borderline unusable. Classic. I'll take care of it. Just have her back up anything important, just in case. Will do. I'll tell her to copy anything essential to her cloud drive before I bring it in. Great. I'll message you once I've taken a look under the hood. Thanks again, Milo, and sorry again for bugging you during your time off. No worries at all. It's a nice change of pace from the usual work stuff. I owe you one. You've helped me plenty. Happy to return the favor. All right then, see you tomorrow. See ya.
Milo, you really messed up this time, didn't you?
Good morning, Daisy. What exactly did I mess up?
I just got to the office a few minutes ago, and I was shocked, let me tell you. Your computer, it's completely soaked in Coke. Sticky, fizzy disaster.
Excuse me? My computer?
Don't tell me. Did you forget a bottle of soda on your desk before you left yesterday? Maybe it tipped over. I don't know what happened, but that machine, never seen it before, mind you, looks expensive. But since it's here at the office, I figured it must be company property, right? That's when I thought, oh no, maybe it's got all the meeting data saved on it, and now it's totally fried. How do you plan to explain that, huh? What a mess. Honestly, wow, you really did it this time.
Just to clarify, are you talking about a silver and black desktop computer?
Yeah, that's the one. Big thing sitting right there in the middle of your desk, or what's left of it.
Right. That's not my computer.
What?
And for the record, I had it carefully wrapped in protective plastic to make sure no one tampered with it or spilled anything on it. So unless someone deliberately unwrapped it...
Wait, hold on.
Also, may I ask, why are you at the office today?
Huh? Because I came to work. Why else?
Daisy, starting today, the entire company is on remote work. That includes our department. It was in the announcement last week.
It starts today?
Yes. Only a few folks from the coding sales team are scheduled to drop by later this afternoon, and the president himself said he'd be swinging by briefly.
I thought that was from tomorrow.
Nope, starting today. Also, everyone in our department is issued laptops, not desktops, so that machine on the desk isn't company issued. And considering it was clearly wrapped in protective covering, didn't it occur to you that maybe, just maybe, it wasn't yours to mess with?
Well, I mean, it was sitting on your desk, so...
Sure, I get that much, but how do you explain the wrapping being torn off? How do you explain the fact that it's now drenched in Coke?
I mean, it was just already soaked when I saw it.
Before you go any further, let me clarify something. That computer belongs to someone else, and I left it there on purpose.
Wait, what? Whose is it?
It's the president's daughter's computer.
What?
Yes, she's been using a custom PC that I built for her a while back. The president asked me to upgrade the memory this week. I finished the upgrade yesterday, but since he was out of the office all day and I'd be working remotely starting today, I left it on my desk so he could pick it up when he stops by.
Wait. Why the hell is the president's daughter's PC sitting on your desk?
Because he asked me to build it. It's a custom rig. I'm pretty good with hardware, and this isn't the first time I've helped out. I wrapped it carefully after I finished the work so nothing would happen to it. The president and I agreed that he'd collect it himself this morning.
I never even saw it during working hours yesterday.
That's because I kept it locked in my storage locker. I only brought it out and placed it on my desk right before I left. You probably didn't see it because you clocked out the moment the end of day chime rang. But several of our co-workers stayed late. They saw me bring the PC out and even came over to ask about it. I told them whose it was.
Wait, so I'm the only one who didn't know?
Yes, apparently so.
Are you saying you think it was me who spilled the Coke?
Yes.
Excuse me? That's ridiculous. For all you know, someone else could have come in last night. An intruder. Ever consider that?
Sure, except that the president himself already checked the security camera footage.
What? The president?
Yes! While we've been having this little chat, I got in touch with him, told him what happened. He was already commuting to the office, so he pulled the security footage remotely.
And...
According to him, there's clear footage showing you, Daisy, walking straight up to my desk, ripping off the wrapping from the computer, and pouring a bottle of Coke right on top of it.
That's absurd. That can't be true.
I'm afraid it is. And you know the president, he's extremely protective of his daughter.
So, what now?
Well, judging by the time, I'd say he'll be arriving any minute now. You might want to prepare yourself. After that incident, Daisy never responded again. Not a single message, no apology, no attempt to explain, nothing. And honestly, I wasn't surprised in the slightest, because the real storm came right after. Our company president completely lost it when he found out. You see, the laptop that Daisy had destroyed wasn't just any company-issued device. It belonged to the president's daughter, who'd been using it for her university thesis and some startup project work. There were months' worth of documents, research files, and sensitive data on that machine. Daisy had taken it home under the pretense of installing some optional optimization software to make it run faster, something no one asked her to do in the first place. Fortunately, I had taken the liberty of backing up all the data to a shared drive the week before. That backup was the only reason we didn't lose everything. But what really sealed Daisy's fate was what she did next. For some baffling reason, after accidentally spilling an entire bottle of Coke over the laptop, she tried to turn it on. Not just once, but multiple times. The internal circuitry was fried, the motherboard was gone, and the battery short-circuited so badly it bloated the casing. It was total and irreversible damage. In the emergency meeting that followed, the president was calm, at least outwardly, but his eyes were cold. He laid out the terms directly. Daisy would be responsible for purchasing a replacement laptop of the exact same specifications fully out of her own pocket. No exceptions. And not just any laptop. His daughter had customized the original with high-end components suitable for video editing, coding, and design software. Basically, we were talking about a professional-grade machine. I was brought in again to source the parts and rebuild the custom unit. When I submitted the estimated cost, it came out to $3,500, including parts, accessories, and the time it would take to assemble and install everything. The president looked it over, nodded once, and added an extra fee to compensate me for the inconvenience. It was generous, honestly. To be fair, the cost wasn't unbearable. Daisy could have covered it with some savings, maybe a short-term loan. But I think that's when everything started to unravel for her. After the financial hit, her work performance plummeted. She started pushing off her responsibilities onto others, missing deadlines, and avoiding team meetings. Every small mistake she made was met with cold stares and whispers behind her back. The atmosphere around her grew suffocating. No one trusted her, and frankly, no one wanted to work with her anymore. She tried to keep up appearances at first, acting like nothing was wrong, but the guilt, the pressure, and the isolation must have caught up with her. It wasn't long before she handed in a resignation letter, claiming she wanted to pursue other opportunities. No one believed that for a second. And just like that, she was gone, packed up her desk on a Friday evening and slipped out without a word. Word later got around that she'd moved back in with her parents. She's not working, not studying, not even looking for a job. From what I hear, she rarely leaves the house, spending most of her time sleeping, browsing the internet, or watching TV. A full-blown recluse.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Ellen, have you finished packing up your things yet? I don't want to rush you, but time is of the essence. It doesn't seem like you've been making any progress at all. I'm getting worried you won't be finished in time.
Huh? Packing up my things? What are you talking about? Are we going on vacation or something? I don't remember talking about that.
Oh, you can't be serious. May's moving back in so I can help take care of her after the baby is born. So obviously you're going to have to move out. I thought we were on the same page.
Wait, what? May's moving back in? This is the first I've ever heard of this. You never said anything to me.
Oh, come now, dear. There's no way you weren't aware. I told my son to tell you about it myself, so I don't want to hear any of your excuses. Unless, are you telling me that Nate didn't talk to you?
No, Mom. He hasn't said a single thing to me. I told you, this is the first I'm hearing of this. So please tell me what's going on. I did hear that May was pregnant. I knew that much. But now you're telling me she's moving in?
I don't believe it. You mean you really didn't know? Oh, Nate told me that he talked to you about it and you were fine with it. He told me he would handle everything, so I thought everything was in order.
How could I possibly be fine with something I knew nothing about? How long has this been in the works? When did this conversation happen?
Well, let me think. The first time May mentioned she wanted to move back in was, I believe, around a month ago or so. She said the doctor told her she was at a heightened risk for premature labor. So she wanted to move in here so that I could help her relax up until the birth. Her husband is always quite busy with work, and his parents live quite a ways away. So when I talked to Nate about it, he said he would talk to you. And it wasn't but a few hours after that he told me you two had a conversation and that you said you were fine with it. Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I had no idea you weren't aware. I feel terrible now.
She gave you 1 month's notice for wanting to move in with us? Jeez. This is not the kind of thing you can just drop on somebody with only a month's notice. Isn't there anywhere else she could go but here?
I understand that she tried, but there was nowhere else that she could stay. Believe me, this is all very sudden for me as well.
Well, yeah, I suppose it's going to be quite an imposition on you, too. But wait, you're telling me that we're the ones who need to be packing up our things? Do you mean she's going to be staying on our side of the duplex? Why wouldn't she be staying in yours? There would be more empty space over there.
Well, no, she'll be spending most of the time over here with me. But she says that she wants you and Nate to move out of your unit while she's here.
What?
Oh, just until the baby's born and she recovers from the birth. She said it would be for the best if you two could rent an apartment or a condo somewhere for a while. Not forever, again, just until things settle down.
Are you being serious right now? What in the world? She really said that? Why on earth would we have to move out of our own house?
I'd say May would feel bad about imposing on you if you were around the house. She wouldn't want you to feel like you had to wait on her. And having an energetic 2-year-old around a new mother could be, well, somewhat stressful. Stress isn't good for a pregnant woman, you know. It's hard on the baby as well.
That's her reason? That's why she wants us to move out of our own house? What, does she think it'll be easy on us to have to make a sudden move like this with a 2-year-old? That's insane. And what does she mean until things settle down? That's an incredibly vague period of time. Are we talking a few months, a year, or even more? Who's going to take care of the house in that time? Who's going to pay for utilities, the mortgage? Not to mention she's kicking us out of our own home, so who's going to pay for our moving expenses?
Well, as for the housework, I talked to Nate about that. He said you would be able to stop by a few times a week and take care of everything. He also told me that you would be willing to drive May to the hospital and back for her pre- and postnatal checkups.
Are you kidding me?
And for financial matters, he said it would be a sort of early baby shower gift for her. He said that the two of you would cover all the expenses, both for yourselves and May. I'm sorry, dear, but Nate told me that you had discussed all of this and that you were just as enthusiastic about it as he was.
I'm going to have a little talk with him later on, but for the time being, let me just tell you this much. May is not going to be able to move into our house. We have a 2-year-old child. We can't just move on a whim like this, and I can't be taking care of the housework for 2 households. It's simply delusional to think a scheme like that would ever work out in reality. Not to mention, I have a job to do myself. I'm sorry, but this just isn't going to work. You'll have to tell May that she needs to find another arrangement.
What? I can't tell her no, not at this point in time. She's going to move in this weekend.
This weekend? That's only 5 days from now.
Well, yes, I know. That's why I asked you if you had made the necessary preparations for the move a little bit ago. Helen, I'm sure you can find some way to make this work, can't you? After all, we've already told May that she can come. She's made her own preparations, too. We can't just make her up and change plans at this point.
I'm sure it'll be difficult for her, but I'm just looking at reality here. This is just not going to work. It can't happen. Anyway, like I said, I was not in the loop for any of this information. I'm going to have a talk with Nate now. He has a lot of explaining to do. Nate, we need to have a talk now. I just heard from your mom that May is going to be moving into our house this weekend. Would you mind telling me more? And by more, I mean anything? Seeing as how you never told me about this in the first place.
Oops. Sorry, babe. I guess I forgot to run that by her.
You forgot? You forgot? You forgot that she's moving into our house in just 5 days? You forgot about this little minor detail for an entire month? You forgot that we have to find a new place to live for the entire time she's living here? You forgot that you promised my services as a housekeeper and chauffeur to her for that entire time? You forgot to tell me all about that?
Look, I said I was sorry, but I've been meaning to talk to you about it, I really have. But I just felt like if I asked you about it, that you'd say no for sure.
Of course I would say no to that nonsense. What was your plan here? What were you going to do if your mom just didn't drop that bomb on me a little while ago? Were you just going to have May show up at the door and be like, "Oh, by the way..."
Come on, don't treat me like I'm a total idiot. I obviously made preparations for us to leave the house. I was going to talk to you within the next few days, maybe even today or tomorrow. I just forgot, that's all. What, have you never forgotten anything?
Don't pretend like being ready or not is the issue. The issue is that you went and made all of these insane promises behind my back. Why? Does May have no other choice than to move into our house to take care of the baby? Why can't she go anywhere else? This is our house. She has her own house.
Well, that's because Mum's going to be helping her out while she recovers from the birth. Since Mum lives in the other part of our duplex, that means May has to come here, obviously. Mum sold her old house when she moved in with us, so she can't go there.
I am aware of the fact that your mom sold her old house and moved in with us when your dad died. I get it. She's getting up there in years and she's insecure living completely on her own. I get that. She's not in bad enough health to require round-the-clock care like in a nursing home, so it makes sense for her to live close to us like this. I understand that and agreed to it when we moved into this duplex. But once again, Nate, that's not the issue here. The issue is May moving in here. Please, for the love of God, will you explain to me why she has to move in here?
What do you want, Helen? Do you want May to have to deal with giving birth and taking care of her baby all by herself? Oh, don't forget you stayed with your parents when you gave birth. You think you deserve that, but May doesn't. You think you're special or something. Try putting yourself in her shoes.
First of all, you are comparing apples to oranges. The circumstances are completely different. But let's just say for a moment that I was in the same position May is in now. If my parents had sold their house and moved in with my brother and his wife, then unless there was some sort of insanely unlikely extenuating circumstance, I would simply take care of myself and have my husband do whatever I needed in order to make things work. But apparently May hasn't even thought about that possibility. And then her reasoning, are you kidding me? She thinks having other people in the house would be stressful for her? Why do we have to allow ourselves to get kicked out of our own house? Why do I have to give up my lifestyle to cater to May's selfish whims? Don't even get me started on having to do the housework and take her to her checkups. Doesn't all of that seem just a little bit, I don't know, ridiculous to you, Nate?
Hey, don't talk about May like she's some kind of squatter swooping in and stealing our house. She has a lot on her mind right now. The doctor even told her she's at risk of going into labour prematurely. All she wants is to be close to Mum, so Mum can take care of her. You're a mother yourself, Helen. You understand exactly how hard on a woman's body childbirth is. So come on, you can help her out with the housework, can't you? That won't be too much of a burden. And hey, you can think of this as a good chance for you and May to finally develop a positive relationship. What do you say, Helen? Think you can make a teensy little sacrifice for me?
A chance to become besties with May? A teensy little sacrifice?
Well, yeah. I mean, you've never even spoken to each other. After that big blow-up you two had all the way back when, right? That puts me in a really difficult position, Helen. I'm torn between my sister and my wife. Maybe the two of you can bond over mummy stuff. You know, like changing nappies and other mummy stuff.
What is the matter with you? I cannot believe what I'm reading right now. You call what happened a blow-up? Do you remember what that woman did to me? You introduced me to your family for the first time, and she immediately started insulting me in every possible way she could think of. She threw hot coffee on me, kicked me under the table, and pushed me out the door when I left. And then, after we sent out the wedding invites, you remember that, right? She started calling all the invitees and lied to them that the date had been changed. Then she came to the wedding plastered drunk and tried to throw a bottle of wine at me. After we got married, she used the key we left with your parents to break into our house and steal our stuff. Don't tell me you forgot the time she almost got away with selling my mother's heirloom diamond necklace to a pawn shop. If your dad hadn't driven by just in time to put a stop to the deal, I would have lost it forever. Oh, and then there's the time she tried to dump me in the middle of nowhere while I was pregnant with our son. Wasn't that an adorable little prank? She told me that your mom had been in an accident and we needed to rush to the scene and help her, then tried to kick me out of the car on the side of the highway. If that cop hadn't seen the scene and asked what was going on, we might have lost our son, Nate. But it didn't stop there. Remember when she came to the hospital after the birth? Remember the things she said to our son? "Wow, you look just like your mother. Ugly as hell, you poor thing." Those were her words, right? After that, I'd had enough of her. I told her exactly how I felt and that I didn't want to see her ever again. And you call that a blow-up? It was a long, continuous stream of unilateral verbal and physical abuse. I seem to remember you being pretty angry back then. Did you forget about that too?
No, I definitely remember that. No, I told her that she's been totally out of line, because she was being out of line. She was going through a really difficult time back then, though. I mean, you're a woman too. You know, women have their phases, right? Look at her now. She's married and she's having a baby. She's a totally different person. She's really turned her life around. I bet she feels really bad for everything she did back then.
If she really felt bad, I think a better way to show it would be to come and tell me that she was sorry to my face. Rather than, kicking me out of my own house and demanding I be her maid. So no, Nate, I don't think she's changed at all. Not in the slightest.
Oh, come on, Helen. She's my sister.
Sister or not, I'm putting my foot down. She is not moving in here. I never want to see her again for as long as I live. Call her up right now and tell her the plan has changed and she's not moving in.
Helen, you know I can't do that. Not this late in the game. She's been operating under the assumption that you'd be taking care of her for a month now. I can't cancel on her at the last minute.
Nate, this is all your fault. Take responsibility. You volunteered my services without even asking me. That's the worst part of this, for me. I don't care how hard it might be to cancel on her. Do it. Do it right now.
Helen, please, don't be so cold to my sister. She's family, and family has to take care of each other. May's already gotten everything ready to move here this weekend. I already signed a lease for a nice little apartment that's not too far away from here.
Oh my God, you did?
Of course I did. Need to move in 5 days. It's only going to be a year and some change. How bad could it be? If you want, I'll make May apologise to you for all that stuff she did. Okay, we're going to be together for a while, so let's try to get along. I'll give you the address for our apartment in a bit. Can you arrange for our stuff to be delivered there? There's not much time left, so do it right away. Okay? Got to get back to work. Talk to you later. Thanks, Helen.
Hey there, ugly bitch. Long time no see. My stuff's gonna get there today, so make sure you get it all organized. Oh, and make sure the house is clean. Like, super clean. You're a sloppy homemaker, and I don't want to get any weird infection from you. So, disinfect everything in the house. Got it?
Hello there, May. I see you haven't changed one bit over the last few years. Nate's the one who'll be cleaning your room, not me. So if you have any special requests, tell him.
What? Oh my God. I feel so sorry for my brother. He's stuck with a lazy loser like you for a wife. Why didn't he divorce you? Like, seriously. I mean, here I am, your husband's own sister, coming over to your house, and this is the way you're gonna talk to me? Forget divorce. If I were Nate, I'd hire a hitman.
Yep, you haven't changed a bit.
Ugh, that sour attitude of yours is exactly why I didn't want that little brat around me. Any kid raised by you is 100% gonna be a total monster. Just the sight of you would raise my stress levels higher than I could stand. Make sure there aren't any family pictures up or anything. Oh, and I told Mom and Nate to make this clear to you, but just in case, you need to wear a mask when you come here to clean. I don't care about the flu or anything, I just don't want to see your face. Get in, get the chores done, and get the hell out. Oh, and that rule also applies for when you're taking me to the doctor. I don't want anyone to know I'm associating with someone as ugly as you.
As you wish. I'm leaving just like you wanted. My sons and my things have already been taken out of the house. You can make yourself at home.
That's a good, obedient girl. Looks like you finally understand where you rank around here. God, how pathetic can you get? No matter what I do or say to you, Mom and Nate may put up a facade of outrage, but at the end, they're both on my side. I win, you lose. I get everything, you get nothing. I get this sweet house, you get some cramped apartment. Oh, and I bet Mom and Nate told you it was gonna just be for a year or so, right? Yeah, about that. I think I might stick around a little longer. Like, I don't know, forever. After all, it's my mom's house, and that means it's my house. Anyway, enjoy life in your crappy little apartment. I can't wait to stretch out my legs and relax on that big sofa you bought. This is what you get for not divorcing my brother when you had the chance, you dumb bitch.
Oh yeah, You got me. You got me real good. Is that all you wanted to say to me? I'm actually pretty busy with moving over here, so if you're done, I'll be getting back to work now. Bye, May.
Aw, look at you, trying to put on a brave face and pretend like I haven't completely destroyed you. You're not fooling anyone.
Helen, where are you? Answer your phone already. What are you doing right now? You need to call me as soon as you see this.
What do you want? I don't want to hear your voice right now. If you need something, just text me.
Helen, why are you talking to me like that? But more importantly, where are you? The door's locked and my key doesn't work. You need to get over here fast.
Sorry, no can do. I'm at my parents' house with our son. I'm going to be staying over here for the foreseeable future. Probably at least a year or so.
What? Wait, what?
My dad hurt his back the other day, you see. He's going to need help around the house and also with getting to and from the hospital for his checkups. He's too heavy for my mom to pick him up by herself, so she needs me here to look after him with her. So I'll just keep going to work like normal while staying here overnight.
What's wrong with you, Helen? How can you do that without saying anything to me first?
You know, Nate, I meant to tell you. Really, I did. But I forgot. I just knew that if I asked you about it, you'd say no, so I never got around to it. Oops.
What? Are you mocking me? Oh, that's beside the point right now. Why isn't my key working?
What, did you think I was going to leave home without locking the door behind me? I have to be a responsible homeowner, Nate. This is kindergarten level stuff. Oh, and about the locks, in a total coincidence, they broke yesterday. I had them replaced. I was going to tell you about that too, but I forgot again. Oops, sorry.
Helen, this is not funny. What's the matter with you? You can't just make these major decisions by yourself like that without asking me first. May is here, ready to move in, but we can't open the door. She was ready to finally get some well-deserved rest and relaxation, but now we have to go back in the car and drive over to the apartment. Why are you doing this, Helen? Explain yourself right now.
What are you complaining about? All I did was follow your family rules.
My family's rules? What?
Yes, your rules. You've made it very clear what your family's rules are over the last several years. According to your family's rules, when one spouse wants to do something that the other spouse will likely object to, you just do it without asking them. Especially if it's for family. Family has to look out for each other, right? And once one spouse makes a decision, the other spouse has to go along with it. And that's exactly what I just did. I followed your rules to a T. My dad hurt his back and needed help. So I dropped everything and went to help him. I have to help my dear father.
I don't believe this. Really, Helen? Is this all some sort of childish revenge thing for you?
Revenge? Don't be silly. I was just following your rules. Or are you saying you realize what you did was wrong?
What? No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Uh-huh. You decided that your sister would move in with us. You decided that we would move out of our own house. You decided that I would be the one who had to take care of your sister. And when you finally talked to me about it and I said no, you ignored me. You signed a lease for an apartment. You started getting ready to move. You did all of this on your own accord because your sister needed help. And since you still don't seem to think you did anything wrong, that must mean those are your family's rules, right? So I followed your rules. I moved in with my parents to help them out while my dad recovers.
Oh, come on. You're being way too hyperbolic about everything. After all, it might have been a little late, sure, but I did talk to you about everything, right?
A little late is doing a lot of work in that sentence. But in any case, while you may have talked to me 5 days before she came, I never once agreed. And as for me, I told May that I would leave. However, I didn't say one single solitary thing to her about taking care of her. I have no obligation to do something that I never agreed to. But honestly, I'd say this is actually for everyone's benefit. May said that just seeing my face sent her stress levels skyrocketing, and I feel the same exact way about May.
Well, why didn't you tell me you felt so strongly about May? If you would have talked to me, we could have found a way to work things out.
I did tell you. Scroll up, Nate. Look at the conversation we had 5 days ago. I told you in detail all about the worst things that she's done to me. I told you, in no unclear terms, that I never wanted to see her again for as long as I live. And what did you have to say in reply? That you think she's turned her life around? Guess what? She texted me 2 days ago, and do you know what words she greeted me with after 2 years of turning her life around? Hey there, ugly bitch. I took a screenshot and sent it to you. You saw it, right?
Yeah, I did. But come on, Helen, give me a break. Can't you give this a chance? Why don't you come by the apartment and we can all talk things out like adults?
Your refusal to talk things out like adults is exactly what got us into this mess. I have been trying for days now to talk things out like adults. But every day this week, you've either had overtime or drinks with your colleagues or some other dumb excuse. And your mom went on a conveniently timed 5-day vacation with her friends. Neither of you have been home for the last 5 days.
Those weren't excuses. I really was busy.
Oh, I have no doubt you were making yourself busy looking for excuses to avoid me. You've had 1 whole month to talk to me since this whole story began. I know what you were thinking, Nate. You were thinking it was only a matter of time. You expected that if you could avoid me for long enough that I'd just agree to everything. And if I said no, you didn't care. All your talk about compromise and little sacrifices, all of that was just a facade. You were just buying time for me to completely give in to you. Seriously, what kind of a pathetic weakling do you think I am? I am sick and tired of you, your sister, your mom. I'm sick of everything. May's had 2 years to grow up, but in all honesty, I think she's become even more of a psycho than she was before.
What do you want from me, Helen? I told you I was sorry for not talking to you. Now stop acting like I'm some kind of passive-aggressive, patronising husband. I'm not. That was not my intent at all. Maybe you have a bit of a point. Maybe I was taking advantage of your kindness, sure. But it was never my intent to hurt you, insult you, impose upon you, or anything like that. So, look, I'm sorry for that, for trying to take advantage of you. But seriously? Locking us out of the house? That's taking things way too far. It's not just your house, Helen. It's our house. You, me, and Mum.
I suppose you're right. It isn't just my house. Originally, my grandparents lived in that duplex along with my uncle and aunt. And right now, it's actually still in my mom's name. We were always just borrowing it from her anyway.
Wait.
What's the matter? Did you forget that too? Boy, you sure have a convenient memory, don't you? Back when your mom wanted to move in with us, I was the one who asked my mom for permission. But then you went and invited your sister to come and live there without even asking me for permission. Do you have any idea how angry my parents are right now at both you and your sister? Oh, and that reminds me, I have a message from them for you, your mom, and your sister. We won't sit idly by and let you take advantage of us. Your sister's got her own house, she can live there, and you can live with her. That sounds like a great idea to me. You can all live with May and her husband, and you can do all their housework.
Helen, let's be reasonable now. We're husband and wife. We can't live in separate houses. Are you really going to live over there for a whole year, please? Helen, come home.
I was actually thinking about staying here longer than just a year. A lot longer. Maybe even forever.
No, you can't be serious. You're not going to divorce me, are you?
I've been thinking about it.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'll tell May she can't stay with us. And I'll make her apologise for everything she's ever done to you. But I'm begging you, please don't divorce me.
Let me ask you a question, Nate. Do you know precisely what I'm angry about right now? If at this point you still don't know what the real issue is, then there's just no hope for you. You say you're going to make May apologize? Great, but this doesn't end there. You're just as guilty as she is. You know that, right?
Yeah, sure I do. I'm very, very aware of how precisely I've hurt you, Helen. And for that precise reason, I'm very, very sorry. I can't express enough how sorry I am for that. So, you gonna come home now?
Nope. It's been so long since my parents have seen their grandson, they look like they're 20 years younger. They're so happy. They went to a lot of effort to get ready for me to stay with them. I couldn't tell them I'm leaving already. It would break their poor hearts. So no, I intend to stay here for 1 year just like I promised. And during that year, I'll decide whether I'm going to divorce you or not. Got that?
Yeah, I got it. Look, I'm really, really sorry for what I did, Helen. I truly regret doing the precise thing that you're angry about right now. I can't believe I was stupid enough to do a thing like that. I hope you can find it in your generous heart to forgive me for...
Well, if you're really sorry about that, then that's good. You'll have another year to think about exactly how sorry you are for that.
that.
And one more thing. I'm going to have to teach May a lesson that will teach her not to cross me ever again. You might get caught in the crossfire, just a heads up.
Okay?
Good morning, May. Did your husband stop by to see you? Look, you can hole yourself up in the apartment bathroom all you want, but you're gonna have to come out eventually. This is all your fault, you bitch! Why did you have to go and call my husband? And why the hell do you even know my husband's phone number? You're such an obnoxious old hag. Let's just say that I have a very thorough network of contacts. Friends of friends, you know. I won't tell you how exactly I got the information, but wow, you never cease to amaze me, May. Really, I'm astonished. Imagine my shock when I learned that your husband, drumroll please, has been out of the country for a year on business. It's an immaculate conception. Or is that just the overwhelming power of your husband's masculinity? He impregnated you from across the world? And if you think I was shocked, you should have heard your husband's reaction. I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! It was only a matter of time before he found out you were the talk of the town. After all, you're a married woman, and yet there was a constant string of young men coming and going from your house in the middle of the night. I understand you told your neighbors that you conceived while your husband made a quick trip back home, but, you know, I really don't think they bought it, May. No, I think they all knew what was really going on. Your husband is set to come back home next month, right? Is that why you were so desperate to move in with us? To keep your husband from finding out for as long as possible? Well, unfortunately for you, after my conversation with him, he decided to cut his trip a wee bit short. Oops. Sorry about that, May. I hate you, you evil bitch! I'm gonna tell Nate and my mom what you did to me. He's gonna divorce your ass instantly. You're gonna regret this. I'll show you what happens when you piss me off, you ugly old geezer. Oh, well, if that's what you need to do, by all means, go ahead. Getting a divorce wouldn't be a problem for me in the slightest, seeing as I make about twice as much as Nate and I'm the family's primary breadwinner. Didn't you know? My dad's a real estate developer and he handed off a few properties to me so I could learn the ropes. Then once he passes away, I'll inherit the rest of his business. So Nate's the one desperate to avoid a divorce, not me. What? Oh, and speaking of money, there's something I need you to do for me. Give your mom a message from me as soon as you can. Tell her that even in the unlikely event Nate and I end up staying together, she is never, under any circumstances, going to come and live with us again. The second she gets too old to be able to take care of herself, I am tossing her carcass right into a nursing home. Did you write all of that down? I don't believe this! Just when I thought you couldn't stoop any lower, now you're throwing my mom out onto the curb after all she's done for you? I'd say the balance is pretty strongly in my favor. Actually, she begged us to let her move in with us because she was lonely, so we did. I was also paying about $300 to $400 a month for her living expenses. Out of my own paycheck, of course. Nate never paid anything. And how did she repay me? By helping you cover up your affair. She was fully aware that you were moving in with us with the sole intent to hide your love child from your husband. That's a pretty disgusting lie of omission that could have put me in an incredibly awkward position. And now, come to find out, her plan was ultimately to abandon the child completely and force me to take care of him. That's the kind of thing you only see in bad soap operas, but your mother actually came up with that evil plot. When Nate pushed her on it a while back, she spilled the beans on the whole thing. Do you think I would continue to allow such an amoral, vile person as that to live with me and my child? All she's done for you, all she's done to me, is the reason I'm kicking her out. Now I know where you picked up your evil nature. I guess that makes two traits you both share, evil and stupidity. If only you weren't as dumb as a box of rocks, maybe you might have gotten away with all of that. Don't you mock me like that, you ugly skank! I am gonna get you back for this, Helen. Mark my words, you will regret this. If I may make a bit of a recommendation, what if, instead of dedicating the rest of your life to getting back at me, you spent more time becoming a normal, moral human being? If you had done that sooner, you probably wouldn't have hit the self-destruct button on your life, and right now, you'd be living a happy life with your husband's child instead of... Well, come to think of it, do you even know which boyfriend is the father? Speaking of which, I think your husband might want to talk to you about your escapades while he was away. Good luck. Hope you know a decent lawyer. May's husband dragged her out of the bathroom she had locked herself in shortly after that. They went straight to his lawyer's office, where they reached a settlement for her multiple affairs and were officially divorced. He also sued all the men she slept with, there were a lot of them, and promptly got back to his work overseas. May eventually found out which one of them was the father and went to him for help. She apparently went directly to his parents and told them that she was pregnant with their grandchild and would put him up for adoption if they didn't take her in. Ordinarily, that's the kind of thing that would get you kicked out in an instant, but they were actually thrilled about the prospect of having a grandson. They agreed to pay off her legal debts to her ex-husband, and she moved in with them. May seemed confident she had finally escaped her problems, but then some new ones came into their place. Right after the baby was born, the baby was whisked away by her mother-in-law. She gave her an ultimatum. If she wanted to see her child, she would have to do all the housework and take care of their elderly parents. May then threatened to divorce her new husband, take the baby, and leave, but her in-laws countered with a threat to demand the repayment of the legal bills they paid for her. Checkmate. Her new husband wasn't much of a comfort either. As time went on, he was spending less and less time at home, leaving May completely alone. She calls Nate every once in a while when she wants to complain, but he ignores her calls most of the time now. I don't feel sorry for her at all. After all, this is exactly what she was trying to do to me. As for Nate's mom, she kept on living in the apartment that Nate had rented for us to live in. We're now waiting for the time to come to put her in a nursing home. She tried calling my parents to apologize for what she did and beg them to allow her to live in the duplex again. But when my kill her with kindness strategy worked just a little bit too well, she lost her mind in a fit of rage, ruining any chances at making amends with them. It's just like I told May on that day. She and her mom are two peas in a pod. Now, as for me and Nate, I'm happy to say that Nate finally came to see reason and has become like a brand new man. He gave me and my parents probably the most sincere apology I've ever seen, and promised to be the husband I deserved from now on. He comes by on weekends and days off to spend time with us, and we're starting to build our relationship back up one brick at a time. While I'm doing my best to stay vigilant, I genuinely believe that he's changed. I hope that by the time my stay with my parents ends, we'll be able to be a real family once again.
Oh, hey there. Good morning, Monica. Are you going to work in those worn-out old rags that look like a 20-year-old present from your grandma again today, you broke loser?
Hey, Roxanne. I'm pretty sure my clothes fall under office casual, and they're definitely not worn out. Anyway, what do the clothes I choose to wear to work have to do with you? It's not like I'm causing you any problems.
Oh dear, what a shame. I see you still have precisely zero self-awareness. Your very existence is a problem when you go to work looking homeless every day, dear.
How am I a problem?
You walk around the neighborhood dressed like a broke loser, radiating the intolerable stench of poverty. Every time I walk past you, I have to pinch my nose. If I'm not careful, I could become poor like you just by being in your vicinity. It really is time you learn to have a little self-awareness, dear. If you don't get on top of your stench soon, the entire neighborhood will be wearing nose plugs.
I have no idea what makes you think I'm a broke loser who radiates the smell of poverty, but me and my family really don't struggle with money as much as you seem to think we do.
Are you joking? I've seen your house, dear. You're nothing but a broke part-time housewife who lives in a shabby, run-down ground-floor apartment in the rough part of town.
Excuse me?
You obviously had no choice but to live there because the rent is dirt cheap and you couldn't afford anywhere more respectable. The place is so beat up, I wouldn't be surprised if the roof leaked every time it rained. You must have to walk around on your tiptoes to avoid the 200-year-old floor creaking.
You seem to be making a bunch of huge misunderstandings here, Roxanne. I don't know why you think I work part-time, but I don't. As for the apartment, it was fully renovated 5 years ago. Nothing in there is 200 years old.
Huh?
It originally belonged to my husband's parents. He inherited it when his dad passed away 5 years back. His mom, who still lives with us now, suffered a fall and hurt her leg not too long afterwards, which ended up with her having to live in a wheelchair. So we had it reformed into a barrier-free, one-story bungalow to make her life there as easy and stress-free as possible. Around the same time, my husband also bought the house next door, which had been vacant for years, then had the connecting wall demolished to almost double the floor space. Even despite all that, buying the house, hiring the builders, paying for the materials, insuring the place, having wheelchair access facilities fitted, we still never struggled for cash.
Wow. Basically, because you went on a foolishly irresponsible spending spree that was well beyond what you could afford, you're now a broke loser groveling around in the depths of soul-crushing poverty and despair.
I guess everyone's definitions for poverty are probably different, but at least from where I'm standing, I don't feel like we're poor.
That's only because you're too poor to have ever known what it's like to possess large amounts of money, my dear. I knew it. Without the sagely advice of someone highly respected, loved, and accomplished like myself, the wife of a CEO, you're not even capable of making even the bare minimum of decisions required to get by in life. You really are the most tragic human being I've ever met.
You'll have to excuse me, but I have work soon, so I'm gonna have to head off.
It's okay, dear. I understand. You'll get fired if you don't do as your boss tells you. I get it. It must really suck to be poor. But, Monica, really, I do at least think you should make the effort not to let your poor coworkers catch wind of the foul stench of your poverty. Everyone will be too grossed out to work, and productivity will be down across the board. Oh, that reminds me. Me and the other moms from kindergarten are throwing a New Year's party this Saturday. It'll be held at my apartment. You know, the top floor apartment of the luxury apartment building overlooking the river on 5th Street. But of course, no broke losers will be invited. I can't wait to look down on your pathetic papier-mâché cockroach den from the balcony of my luxury apartment while we sip our $10,000 champagne. We'll be so high up above you, your pitiful excuse of an apartment will look like nothing more than a piece of garbage. Oh, did I tell you our $10,000 champagne will contain specks of gold dust? I know you couldn't possibly imagine what it's like to indulge in such sophisticated extravagance, but hopefully these messages aren't making you too jealous. Oh, of course, if you're absolutely desperate to come to my New Year's party and find out how the chosen few live, you need to get rid of that stench of poverty you radiate by moving up in the world until you make at least $100K a year. Only then will I consider sending you an invite. What on earth do you think you're playing at, Monica? Why would you come to my New Year's party? I made it very clear you weren't welcome.
Why would you go out of the way to bug me over messages when we're at the same party? If you have a problem with me, come and say it to my face, Roxanne.
That doesn't answer my question. What does a poverty-stricken loser like you think she's doing at a party of a CEO's wife? Anyway, what gives you the right to let yourself into my apartment like this? The roof of this building is a sacred place for the upper crust of society, life's winners like me. Poor people don't belong here, and you're not welcome. Think you had the nerve to bring your husband with you, too. I have no idea how you managed to get past security. But I'd rather you didn't stink out my luxury apartment with the rotten stench of your poverty. I'm going to have to spray some air freshener because of you. What a surprise that was! I genuinely have no idea how a broke loser like you ended up getting into my invite-only party, or what made you think you had the right to come in the first place, for that matter. I made it very clear you were only to come if you made more than $100K a year. That didn't give you any right to pour a bottle of champagne over my head. You unlawfully entered my apartment and you paid the price. I didn't do anything wrong. I was merely defending my property. Besides, I poured that bottle of champagne over your head out of kindness. Kindness? I figured if I could drench you in champagne, it might help get rid of the stench of poverty that follows you around wherever you go. But thanks to your illegal entry into my apartment, my luxury top-of-the-range Persian rug is covered in champagne now. I'll have you know that rug cost $7,000. If you don't compensate me for the damage you've done, I'll be forced to take extreme measures. Obviously, this should go without saying, but a cleaning won't do it. You've ruined the fabric forever, so you need to buy me a brand new rug. I know $7,000 probably amounts to a year's wages for the likes of a broke depth groveler like yourself. And I wouldn't be surprised if you even had to move out of your cockroach-infested apartment and live on the streets to come up with the money, but you should have thought about that before you spoiled my rug. Listen to me, Roxanne. You don't seem to be aware of this, but it was your husband who invited me and my husband. Huh? Initially, we were only supposed to be paying him a visit in his office on the second floor to make a few inquiries. But when we arrived, he told us he had some urgent business to attend to and apologetically invited us to wait for an hour upstairs in your apartment. He appeared to know that me and you are kindergarten acquaintances, so I guess he figured it'd make sense to invite me to your New Year's party to kill some time while he dealt with whatever stuff he had going on. He came up with us in the elevator, let us in, and showed us to the living room before disappearing off somewhere in a hurry. Huh? But what reason could you and your husband possibly have for visiting my husband's company? Your husband said he'd be messaging you about that. Huh? Haven't you heard anything from him? I don't know, maybe in a message or an email? Well, hold on, let me check. Oh my God, what in the Lord's name is happening? Monica, you're the president of my husband's company's biggest client company? In the hell? How haven't I heard about this before? That's not all. What the hell are you doing living in a tiny ground floor apartment with a job like that? I thought you were broke. Excuse me? Let me get this straight. You thought I was poor because I live in a ground floor apartment? Who lives in ground floor apartments apart from broke losers? Everyone knows celebrities and successful people live on the top floor so they can look down on the peasants. Ah, I see. So that's why you went out of your way to get an apartment on the top floor, huh? Because in your mind, being that high up is the ultimate form of status symbol? What, are you saying it's not a status symbol? Of course, everyone's free to have their own ideas about the world. But I personally don't see any link between the altitude of someone's house and their value as a human being. And if I'm honest, I think that's a very shallow and superficial way of looking at the world. What the heck are you talking about? I did tell you this before, but my mother-in-law lives with me and my husband. She lives in a wheelchair, so it was a must that our place not have any stairs. That's why we bought the vacant house next door, had the second floors of both houses demolished, and had it converted into a big, spacious, barrier-free bungalow. Anyway, haven't you heard? Bungalows are in fashion these days. All the celebs and successful people are buying them. Oh my God, are they really? Hey, what's this crap I'm hearing about you terminating your contract with my husband's company? I take it your husband explained the situation to you then? My contract with your husband's company is terminated with immediate effect. Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this just because I poured a bottle of champagne over your head as a joke. You have no right to drag my husband into this. This crosses the line. No way. Do you think that's the only reason I'm doing this? Huh? But my husband just called. He was furious. He said this was all happening because of my rude attitude at the New Year's party and that I had to apologize to you immediately. Listen, Roxanne, I'm not going to pretend you pouring a bottle of champagne over my head in front of everyone at your New Year's party has nothing to do with the contract termination. You mean there's another reason? I don't know how your husband explained it to you, but the reason me and my husband visited your husband's office on the second floor was to notify him we were terminating the contract. It was already decided at that point. What? I don't know how much of this I should tell you, since as far as I'm aware, you don't have anything to do with the management of your husband's company. But to summarize, I got sick of his failure to meet deadlines, the constant issues with quality when shipments did arrive, and not to mention the horrendous attitude his employees gave me when I tried raising the issues with them. He and his company have been impossible to work with these last 6 months, and it reached the point where I simply couldn't overlook it anymore because it was interfering with our ability to provide quality to our customers. If I'd let it continue, I am almost certain it would have had knock-on effects for our reputation and revenues. After lengthy discussions with my husband, who's responsible for client meetings, and other executives within our company,
I decided we had no choice but to terminate the contract. To be honest, I had already made up my mind, but there was a small chance I'd have been willing to negotiate with your husband if he showed sincerity in wanting to improve. Until you poured champagne over my head, that is. With that, I resolved to wash my hands of the both of you for good.
Oh my God. Wait, hang on a second. No way. Oh, surely all this stuff with my husband is just business. Why throw away our friendship too? Now I know you're rich and successful and that me and you are on the same level. We can grow closer than ever before.
The same level as you?
I get that you might be upset with my husband's company, but why throw away a friendship in the process? It seems like such a waste. Won't you rethink this, please, Monica?
I can't say I was ever the type to link people's value as human beings to how much money they have, but I know that you take great pleasure in it. Which is why you should know that once your husband loses this contract, which accounts for over 80% of his sales, the future of his company probably isn't gonna look so bright.
What?
I advise you to consider the implications of that before talking to him.
Monica, could you please lend me some money?
Say what now?
I'm sure you've already heard, but my husband's company went bankrupt.
Yeah, I may have heard a thing or two about that.
Well, this means we're not going to be able to carry on living in this luxury high-rise apartment.
You mean you're not going to be able to keep up with the rent?
Yes. My husband's unemployed after his company went bankrupt, so he has to start from scratch and find a new job. Which is why I'd really appreciate if you could lend me just enough to cover the rent on this apartment.
How about you just move somewhere more appropriate for your level of income instead of begging for money? Your husband's parents are looking after your son right now, right? So you either need to ask really nicely and hope one of your parents will let you move in with them until you get back on your feet, or if that doesn't work out, find a new job with a company that provides employee accommodation.
No, I can't do that. Me? Work a job? Oh my God. It's not right that a woman of my status should have to associate with the peasants and work a normal person job. My status demands that I live on the top floor. Sure, I might have lost my title as CEO's wife, but that's just all the more reason I can't afford to lose this high-rise apartment.
Listen, Roxanne, the thing is...
You're going to lend me some money?
Have you taken a shower lately?
Huh?
Do you wash your clothes?
What the hell kind of questions are these?
A close friend of mine lives in the same apartment block as you, but she told me that every time she walks past the housewife from the top floor, she has to hold her nose because she smells so bad. She said she gets the impression you're trying to cover up the smell by drenching your entire body in perfume. She says the smell resembles something like a mixture of your natural body odor and something that can only be described as not belonging to this world.
Oh my God, do I smell that bad?
Yes, you really smell that bad. Apparently the smell is so awful that the company managing the apartments are currently in the process of writing up their claim against you because of the distress your stench is causing the rest of the residents.
No, it's not me. They're mistaking me for someone else.
That's funny because when I asked her for your room number, she gave me yours.
No, there has to be some kind of mistake.
I really think you should do something about this, Roxanne, and sooner rather than later.
No, I do not smell!
I did wonder for a second whether the culprit behind the rotten stench might be Roxanne's husband, but it turned out that by that point, he'd already moved back in with his parents who lived 10 minutes away, which meant that the only one left behind in that foul-smelling room was Roxanne, all alone and with nothing left but her wounded pride. As for why the place smelled so bad, I found out later that the utilities got cut as a result of their failure to pay the rent, which in the middle of the summer in a place this hot is never going to end well. Even in spite of that, Roxanne, whose sense of self-esteem seemed entirely dependent on her living on the top floor of a luxury apartment block, defiantly stayed behind for a short while despite receiving several eviction notices. Eventually, though, she lost her nerve and moved out. I don't know whether it was because of the constant complaints from the neighbors, but they must have been elated when they found out she was gone. With that, she moved in with her husband and his parents. In desperate need of cash, she was forced to get a part-time job at a nearby supermarket. which is where she now spends her days doing the bare minimum of work to get by while riddled with chronic self-esteem issues due to her intolerably putrescent body odor. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We can't wait to see you again next time.
Hey, Kayla, is now a good time to message? There's a little something I was hoping we could discuss.
Huh? Gaston? Sure, I'm free. What is it?
You're already in Washington for your business trip, right? Are you busy with work right now?
We got done with our client meeting way quicker than expected, and now we're just about to check into the hotel. I'll be writing up this week's revenue report when I get to my room, so I'll probably be occupied for a little while. What about you? Shouldn't you be at work yourself? Is something wrong?
This is bad. Apparently the company my brother Derek works for just went bankrupt.
Oh, bankrupt? Where the hell did that come from all of a sudden? So, what's going on, Gaston? How did this happen?
I know, right? He phoned me in a panic earlier on. I was so shocked, but I wanted to do anything I possibly could to help out since I'm his older brother. So I spoke with the boss and he let me dip out of work early just for today. I just got home, so I'm messaging you from the house.
What? You went out of your way to get off work early? What would that accomplish?
Well, listen to this. Here's the problem. Him and his wife were living in company-provided accommodation, and they received an eviction notice saying they had to be out as soon as possible because the company was no longer paying the rent. That's why I had to get away to help him.
Wow, I see. So his living circumstances were entirely dependent on his company? Damn, that sucks. I guess it makes sense that he'd have to move out if it was company accommodation, but damn, I had no idea.
First things first, I need to help them find somewhere else to stay until they get something longer term sorted out. Apparently his wife Lily is pregnant.
Whoa, for real?
He said they only found out the other day themselves. They planned on telling us around the 12th week when all of their tests came back, but the whole bankruptcy thing kinda threw a spanner in the works.
This is nuts. I can't believe he lost his job at a time like this. Talk about bad luck. His wife must be beside herself with worry.
Right? Anyway, I had an idea. I've decided to give my brother and his wife our house.
Huh? What did you just say? By our house, do you mean the house we live in? Don't you mean you're going to let them live with us temporarily until they find somewhere else?
No, I mean I'm literally gonna give it to them. I don't know if I can make it any simpler. I mean, I'm gonna hand the house over to them. Like, they're gonna be its rightful owners, and we're gonna move out.
Are you being serious right now?
Of course I'm being serious. Do I look like the kind of guy who jokes about things like this? I have to do everything I possibly can for my little brother in his time of need.
I get that Derek's in trouble, and I get that as his big brother, you want to be there to help him out, and I think that's admirable. I really do. But I don't understand how you go from that to giving our house to him and his wife. You do understand that makes us homeless, right? Where are we supposed to go? My parents aren't around anymore, which means we'll have nowhere to go, and we'll pretty much have to get to work on finding a new house from scratch. I am struggling to understand your reasoning here, Gaston. Would you help me out on this one? If we're going to go out of our way to look for a house, surely it'd make more sense to look for one for Derek and his wife rather than causing ourselves a bunch of unnecessary upheaval. I get that losing his job means he won't have any money coming in, so I'm more than happy for us to help him out with the rent if that's what it takes to get him out of this pinch.
We're gonna go live with my mom and dad.
Excuse me?
Yep. Don't worry, babe. I already messaged my mom and got permission for us to stay there.
Your mom and dad's house? You do realize they live 2 hours away, right?
Yeah, but my workplace is on the halfway point between here and there, which means it won't impact my commute at all. See? No problem.
But what about me? What am I supposed to do? My workplace is 10 minutes away from our house. Are you saying I have to commute 2 hours to work every day?
So what? Just quit your job and find another one near my folks' place. Jeez, quit making such a big deal out of everything, you big drama queen.
What?
This is a genius plan when you think about it. Derek and his wife don't have to go through the trouble of finding a new place, and we get to live with my mom and dad. You know, I actually amaze myself with how smart I am sometimes.
Smart? That is not the word I would have chosen. Ugh. Don't screw around like this, Gaston, because it's not funny.
Huh?
Why should I have to give up my house for your brother? Are you forgetting that it belongs to me in the first place? It's my frickin' name on the deed. It's not yours to give away.
Your house? What are you talking about? Who the heck do you think you're speaking to, woman? I'm the man of this house, and that is not the kind of tone I expect from you. How about you quit being so selfish and start putting others first for once in your life?
Selfish?
Yeah, you heard me, selfish. You're my wife, and it's your job to do as I damn well tell ya. That's the plan, and it's a damn good one.
No, it is not. It's not okay for you to just hand over my house to someone else, especially without even asking me first. I mean, come on, it doesn't matter if he's your brother or not. It's still my property we're talking about here. You can't just make decisions like that without considering how it affects me, Gaston. It's not fair, and honestly, it's kind of hurtful.
God damn it, why do you have to be so stubborn? If you resist me on this one, I'll just divorce you.
Wow, are you serious? You're really gonna bring divorce into this?
If you don't like it, quit defying me and accept that we're giving the goddamn house to my brother. I'll be done packing our stuff together by the day after tomorrow when you get back from your business trip, so make sure you hand in your resignation by then, okay? We're starting a new chapter here, babe, and I want us both to be fully committed on it.
Do not touch my things. I'll get my stuff together myself.
Fine, have it your way. I take it that means you're at least on board with the move now, then? Ha! I guess there is a brain in there somewhere.
I came back to the house from my business trip to get my things together, but I knew something wasn't right as soon as I arrived. Gaston, what the hell do you think you're playing at? What are your brother Derek and his wife doing in our house?
Duh, what did you expect? I told you we were giving them the place. I left so they could move in.
I can't believe I'm even having to ask you this, but did you already move your stuff to your mom and dad's place?
Of course, all my stuff is there already. It didn't take as much work as I expected. As for your things, I didn't touch them, just like you asked. But as of today, that house belongs to Derek and his wife, which means you need to get your things together and get out as soon as possible. If it's too much for you to do on your own, I'm happy to help.
I won't be needing you to do that, because I'm not moving in the first place.
Huh? You better be joking. You already agreed to the move.
No, I did not.
Huh?
Why should I have to move out of my own house?
Because I told you to. We're giving it to my brother and his wife in their time of need, like I already told you. Oh, and you need to make sure you leave behind all of the furniture and household appliances. Their old company accommodation came with everything included, so they didn't have anything to bring with them. So don't you dare try running off with the toaster or washing machine. I felt bad for them, so I decided to give them not only the house itself, but everything in it.
Maybe I didn't make it clear enough before.
Make what clear enough?
The fact that this is my house and you have no right to give it away?
God damn it, Kayla, are you still harping on about this crap? Quit dreaming. You're in fantasy land.
All right, let me rephrase it. It was me who inherited this house. Does that help? Do you understand now?
Huh?
The house and the land it's built on used to belong to my dad. In fact, it even goes earlier than that because it was passed down through generations until my dad's day. And when he passed away, I inherited it. If my memory serves me correctly, this house has been in my family for over 100 years.
Huh?
For God's sake, Gaston, do you still not understand? What else can I even say at this point? When my dad, who was the legal owner of the house and whose name was written on the deed, passed away, ownership was transferred to me, which means now it's mine.
Holy crap, what did you just say?
Anyway, have you even thought this through? Who's been paying fixed asset taxes on the place this whole time? It certainly wasn't you. So what makes you think you have the right to give it away to whomever you see fit? How about city planning taxes? Go on. Why don't you tell me who pays them? It's okay. I'll wait. If you still don't believe me, how about I show you the deed, or the ownership registration certificate, or my dad's last will and testament, or the inheritance tax forms? Would that help you to understand? My name is clearly written under the owner section on all of them.
Are you for real?
That's my line. I have no idea how you could make a misunderstanding of such epic proportions. You knew my parents lived in this house when they were alive, so what would make you think it belonged to you in the first place? My mom passed away back when I was in high school. As for my dad, he joined her a few years later, at which point I inherited everything, what with being their only child and all. It doesn't take a legal genius to understand there's no situation in which you could possibly inherit a house from my parents.
Oh, I see.
What's that supposed to mean? Are we finally making progress here?
To be honest, I never really gave it much thought.
Huh?
So listen, babe, you have my surname, right? What with us being married and all? Which means the surname on the door plate is also mine. The surname on the mail is mine, and the surname we use whenever we apply for things related to the house is also mine. When you look at it that way, everything points to the house belonging to me.
There's just one tiny problem with that, Gaston. Legal ownership of a house isn't decided by how things look from the outside. It's decided by law.
I didn't know that.
Jesus, Gaston. All right. I don't think there's much point in continuing this conversation any further. I just wanted to give you a heads up. I'm going to be dropping off those signed divorce papers you left on the kitchen table. I noticed you were thoughtful enough to leave them out for me, so thanks for that.
What?
I'm actually on my way to hand them in as we speak.
But why?
I'm guessing you left them behind as a threat to try and bully me into changing my mind about the house and agreeing to move with you and let your brother and his wife have the place. Unfortunately for you, I never had any intention of moving whatsoever, so I'm more than happy to divorce.
No, don't do it. Will you change your mind if I kick my brother out and come back?
If only life was so simple, huh? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Derek told me all about you and your mom's plan.
What? What plan? I don't know about any plan. Nope, not me. I'm totally in the dark here.
Drop the act, Gaston. You know your mom has never liked me, and she wanted to use this whole thing as an opportunity to force me into living with her so she could boss me around and use me as her own personal slave. I heard you guys also both quit your jobs in anticipation of me coming and taking over the rent payments to support you both so you could laze around the house all day.
Holy crap. Derek told you all that? What the hell does that idiot think he's doing? Hang on a sec, how does he even know?
Apparently he overheard you and your mom plotting on the phone. If you don't mind, I think I'll pass on being tricked into living with your slave-driving mother so she can bully and abuse me until she's too old to do it anymore. I also have no intention of financially supporting her or her lazy, good-for-nothing, jobless loser of a son. So if I were you, I'd probably start looking for work again soon. I've never heard of anyone quitting their job for such an absurd reason. Talk about going off someone. I wouldn't stay married to a loser like you even if you paid me to. Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I have some divorce papers to hand in.
Kayla, no!
Bye.
Kayla? What the heck's happening here? Kayla!
Oh, hi, Gaston. It's been a while. What do you want?
Why are my brother Derek and his family living in your house? I just saw him through the window and his kids out playing on the lawn. I thought you said you weren't going to give it to him. This isn't fair.
I didn't give them it. They're renting it.
Huh? Renting? What do you mean they were renting? Explain yourself now.
It was all agreed on around the time of the divorce. It was just like you said. They genuinely were struggling and needed a helping hand, so at first I decided to let them stay for free for a short while. After a few weeks, Derek found a new job, which meant he could finally start paying rent again. He found him and his wife a place with a cheap realtor that does monthly contracts, and after about a month, they moved out of my house. Not long after that, I was told by my boss that I was being transferred to another branch out of state.
Huh? You got a job transfer?
Yep. With that, I decided to put my house up on the rental market, and when I did, apparently Derek and his wife saw it online when they were looking for something longer term, so they reached out to me. Since I know and trust them, and since they're actually sane and reliable, unlike you, I decided to take it off the realtor site and rent it to them directly. I had them sign a contract, and, well, that's pretty much it. So that's what happened, and that's why they've been living there all this time.
Holy crap, are you being serious?
So tell me, Gaston, what exactly do you want? Why are you bothering me after all this time?
You see, the thing is, my mom got involved in a pretty serious accident, and it turns out she's going to be spending the rest of her life in a wheelchair. Of course, that means she needs full-time care, and, well, I just can't do it on my own. It's a really tough situation, and I feel overwhelmed trying to figure out how to manage everything. I want to be there for her because she's my mom, but it's a lot more than I can handle alone.
Wow, you mean you're messaging me after all this time to try and convince me to give things with you another shot? Because your mom's in a wheelchair?
Yup, exactly. So what do you say, baby? How about me and you give things another go? Let's rekindle the flame of our romance, Kayla.
Our romance is deader than Jeffrey Epstein, and it didn't kill itself. No way.
What the hell? Why not?
I was made abundantly aware of how much your mom dislikes me, which is why I went out of my way to avoid her as much as humanly possible. I guess that's why she felt like she had to resort to underhanded measures to trick me into living with her. Because she knew damn well I'd never agree to it otherwise. I always had my doubts about your mom, but when I found out what a selfish, domineering asshole you were, I completely lost all hope in you, too. I would have had to have been out of my mind to move in with a pair of maniacs like you. Anyway, I live ages away in a different state now. Not that I'm going to tell you which one. Remember the work transfer I told you about? Well, it looks like I won't be coming back to Michigan for a long time.
Holy mother of God. Wait a sec. Are you telling me I have to deal with my mom all by myself?
Huh? Oh, of course. How silly of me to forget. Your brother Derek and his wife disowned you, didn't they? Based on what I've heard, he was pretty furious when he heard you were trying to use him and his wife as a tool to get me to go and live with your mom. He washed his hands of the both of you, didn't he? It's nice to know not everyone in your family has a personality disorder.
You heard about that? Well, that was,
Anyway, me and you are complete strangers now, so I'd really appreciate if you never messaged me again for the rest of your life. Quit trying to drag me into your family's bullshit, okay?
Oh my God, wait! Listen, Kayla, please. I'm actually outside your house with my wheelchair-bound mom right now. I was hoping you'd be able to take us both in and care for her, starting today. Do you have any idea how much I paid on transport fees? It's not easy to move someone in a wheelchair, you know? You used to be her daughter-in-law, for God's sakes, Kayla. Have you no heart? Please, there must be something you can do for us.
But I'm not her daughter-in-law anymore, am I? If you'll excuse me, I have a Zoom meeting with a company from Sweden in a minute. Goodbye forever.
Kayla! Baby! No!
After the divorce, Gaston moved in with his mom and found another job. However, when his mom had her accident, he found it impossible to juggle work and caring for her. So he had no choice but to hand in his resignation after just a few months. Apparently, they live on food stamps and disability support now, and things aren't going great for them. They're pretty much on the breadline, and every day is a struggle. I'm guessing he remembered my house had a barrier-free support. Unfortunately for him, I'm not such a pushover that I'd forgive the jerk who tried forcing me to give away my house as part of a ploy to trick me into moving in with his psycho mom. Thankfully, he couldn't track me down since I moved out of state for my work transfer. To add insult to injury, he arrived to find his little brother Derek and his wife, both of whom had disowned him, living in the barrier-free house he so desperately wanted to get his hands on. Derek said he couldn't be happier to see his wayward older brother and deranged mother get their just desserts. Caring for an elderly disabled woman can't be easy, but if there's anyone who deserves to do it all on his own in abject misery, it's Gaston. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to prove what a boss you are by liking and subscribing. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We can't wait to see you again next time.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey Hey, Kelsey. It's been forever since we've talked. How are you? Oh, wow, Haley? It has been forever, huh? I'm doing all right. How about you? Great, thanks. Say, do you have a minute? Sure, I can talk. What's up? So, I hear your wedding is happening on the 1st of next month. Is that right? Is everything still going according to schedule? No change of plans? Oh, well, yeah, everything is still on schedule. We're even getting everything we wanted to get done on time. We already took care of the florist, the caterer, all of that stuff. Uh-huh, I see. So there haven't been any major problems or anything? No, not really. Not anything that I can think of, anyway. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. Oh, and by the way, I'm sorry that we couldn't invite you to the wedding, but I hope you don't feel too bad about it. We wanted to have a small wedding for just our family, so neither of us are inviting any of our friends. You don't need to worry about that. I don't feel bad at all. Even if you had invited me, I wouldn't have been able to go. I've got something going on that day that I absolutely can't miss. Oh, is that right? So you're sure there hasn't been any kind of issues with your wedding? None at all? I mean, was there something you had in mind? It's almost like you want me to be having problems. Oh, is that how I came off? Oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to be that way at all. It's just, well, I've been hearing some rumors lately. Is that so? What rumors? Word on the street is that there's a girl in town who's currently hard at work getting ready for her wedding. So hard, in fact, that she doesn't even realize that her precious fiancé is leaving her for another girl. What? So yeah, that's why I got kind of concerned about you. Wow. Well, whoever that poor girl is, I feel really, really bad for her. But fortunately, she's not me. I know my fiancé, and I trust him completely. He would never do a dirty thing like that to me. Okay, well, if you say so. I'm gonna go to bed now. Talk to you later, Kelsey. Good night, Haley. Thanks for your concern.
Hey, how's my baby girl doing on this fine day? I can't believe it's been 3 years since we last talked. It's me, Alex.
Huh? Alex? Oh no, I thought for sure I had blocked your number. I must have forgotten.
That's so like you. You were always so forgetful about the little things. That forgetful side of you is so cute.
Alex, what do you want? We broke up 3 years ago. I really would prefer if you didn't try and contact me, so could you not?
Oh, come on, don't be that way. I heard that you're getting married.
I don't know how you managed to find out about that, but it really doesn't matter. It's none of your business.
I'm just here to give you some friendly advice. A marriage that isn't based on true love will never last. You're only gonna end up miserable.
Excuse me?
Seriously, Kelsey, drop the pretense. I know that you and that fiancé of yours are only going out because your parents set you up with each other. That's not love, that's fake. It's just a pack of lies. You're only doing it to please your parents.
You have no idea what you're talking about, Alex. Yes, our parents did set us up on our first date, but it's not like we had never met each other before that. And we were dating for 2 whole years by the time we decided to get married. Not to mention, we're already living together, so our relationship is most assuredly not just a pack of lies.
Kelsey, if you're not going to be honest with yourself, you're never going to be happy. You know that you still have feelings for me.
You have got to be kidding me.
I know what happened. You were so shocked when I left you for someone else that you thought you'd never be able to love anyone again. So, once your parents set you up with that guy, you thought that this was the only chance you'd have at getting married. But it's all right, Kelsey. Everything's gonna be all right. I'll never do anything to hurt you again. I'm gonna make you the happiest woman in the world.
Alex, listen to me and listen well. I do not have any feelings for you anymore. I do not want to be with you. I'm getting married to my fiancé next month, the end. Goodbye.
Wait, one more thing. Actually, I have a wedding scheduled on the same day as you.
Oh, is that so? Well, I'm very happy for you. Congratulations. Goodbye.
Aren't you interested in who the bride's gonna be?
No, goodbye.
It's you!
What?
But unless you act fast, I'm gonna end up getting married to someone else.
That didn't clear anything up at all. What are you talking about?
Look, I sent you a letter in the mail with a wedding invitation and a bus ticket. I'll be waiting for you at the altar at the time and date written on that invitation. Don't disappoint me.
So, you want this to be some kind of made-for-TV movie thing where I walk through the door and then you turn around and say, I knew you'd come? Or some cheesy line like that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going for.
If you want a cheesy, dramatic moment, then watch a cheesy, dramatic movie. Me out of your stupid fantasies.
Play hard to get all you want. I know you'll come for me.
For the last time, goodbye. Good morning, Kelsey. So today's the big day, huh? How are things over there at your wedding? Oh, good morning, Haley. I guess you might say there's been a bit of a problem. Uh-oh! Don't tell me. The groom's not there yet, is he? And why would you know about that? Oh, there's a very good reason. It's because your fiancé is here with me. What? That's right. We're waiting for our wedding to start in a beautiful chapel in the woods beside a lake. In the woods? Hold on. You still don't get it? Then let me explain it for you. You are not getting married today, Kelsey. Your fiancé is leaving you and marrying me instead. Do you get it now? Well, I get part of it. Like, I guess you're having a fancy wedding in a lakeside chapel? That's right. It's only the single most romantic thing ever. Yeah, but then there's the thing that I don't get. The reason that my fiancé is late is because he had to take a phone call for work this morning. I don't know what it was about. He said his boss needed him for something. Wow, is that really the best excuse he could come up with? A phone call? He just texted me a few minutes ago saying he would be at the chapel in about 10 minutes or so. Oh, I get it. He sure is a smart guy. He set things up perfectly so that you'd have no idea what was going on until the very last second. But guess what, Kelsey? What is it, Haley? The truth is, we're already married. We've already gotten legally married. We're just having the ceremony today. How's it feel, Kelsey? Haley, why are you doing this? We used to be really good friends back in the day. After we graduated college, I moved out of town for a job, and after that, we've kind of grown apart, but still, I have no idea why you'd be going out of your way to be so bizarrely mean to me. You want to know why I'm doing this? You really want to know why? Yeah, actually, I'm really confused. You remember Alex, the guy you were dating a few years ago? He was my first crush. What? He was? But when I finally worked up the courage to tell him that I liked him, you know what he told me? He said that he couldn't go out with me because he had a crush on you. If it weren't for you, we could have lived happily ever after. Is that really why you stole my fiancé from me? I'm sorry, do I need a better reason? Not in my book. You deserve this and more. But I don't need to justify myself to you anyway. I won. I stole him back from you before your wedding. Wait a second. Stole him back? That's all there is to it. So I'm really sorry, but you're gonna have a lonely wedding today. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got a fairy tale wedding to get back to. Hey, Haley? Can I ask you something? No, you can't. I'm about to declare my never-ending love to my husband, and I won't let you get in the way of our love anymore.
Kelsey! Why didn't you come for me? I kept waiting and waiting for you to burst through the chapel doors, but you never came. I thought our love meant more to you than this.
Alex, you again?
Why couldn't you just be honest with yourself? Honest with your heart? I held out hope until the very last minute. I thought that just as I was going to say I do, that you'd come in and rescue me. But I said it. I said I do. I swore before God to love another woman forever.
Oh, no.
Oh, no is right, but don't worry. There's still one more chance. And this is the final chance, Kelsey. I'm gonna be back in town tomorrow. I'll set up an appointment with the courthouse to have a judge preside over our marriage. You can wait for me at the bus station downtown. I'll be there before noon. This is it, Kelsey. It's now or never.
Hey, Alex, forgive me if I'm wrong, but the woman you married today was Haley, right?
Huh?
She's been texting me today too, and judging from the content of your texts, it seems to me like you two just got married to each other.
Oh, really? Well, yeah, you're right. Around the time that you put out on social media that you were getting married, Haley texted me saying she wanted to talk. Then she told me she liked me for the second time since we were in school. And I figured that since the two of you were friends and all, if she and I started dating, you'd find out about it for sure. And when that happened, your bottled up feelings for me would come bursting to the surface like an active volcano. I guess you could say that I kind of used Haley to get to you. But I had no other choice. This was the only way that I could make sure that the two of us would be together forever.
Right, about that though. From what Haley told me, the two of you are already married.
What?
Yeah, she told me that you were already legally married and that you were just having the ceremony today.
What?
I don't really know about how all of that panned out, but yeah, that's what she told me.
Wait a second. Oh no. I remember one night I got pretty drunk and blacked out, but when I woke up I was wearing a tuxedo for some reason.
I'll leave you to figure that out. My wedding is gonna start soon.
No! Kelsey, wait!
You know what? There's actually something I need to say to you first. I would never marry a smug, stuck-up, pompous, narcissistic moron like you. Not even if you were the last man on Earth.
Kelsey, no!
Do you hear me? I would rather the human race go extinct and human civilization be reduced to dust than be your wife.
Please, Kelsey! Please!
Goodbye, and I really mean it this time. Hey there, Kelsey. You want to know what I'm doing with Alex right now? I'll give you a hint. It involves a bed, some sheets, and very little clothing. Oh, but your wedding got canceled, didn't it? You poor little thing. Sorry about that. Nah, you've got nothing to be sorry for. My wedding went off without a hitch. It did? Yep, my husband managed to finish his work call on time and got to the chapel exactly when he said he would. Wow, that's quite the imagination you've got there. I hate to break it to you, but Alex isn't with you. He's right here next to me, and on top of me, and sometimes behind me. Yeah, I know. My husband, however, is here at the wedding with me in Hawaii. What? You're in Hawaii? That's right. We've been over here for 2 days now. Wait a minute. That can't be. You were engaged to Alex, weren't you? No, Alex and I broke up over 3 years ago. You broke up? Yeah, it was a big mess. Found out that he had been cheating on me and hiding the fact that he had a bunch of debt. Oh no, he was cheating and in debt? That's right, he was messing around with a married woman. A married woman? It gets worse. He got her pregnant. Oh my God! If you think you're shocked, imagine how shocked I was back then. His mistress's husband divorced her, so he got socked with paying her a bunch of child support that he couldn't afford. He had to take out a loan to pay it all off. And the moment I found all this out, I broke up with him immediately. So, you're telling me that Alex has a kid out there somewhere? No, not a kid, 3 kids. His mistress had triplets, so he had to pay her 3 kids worth of child support. I think I'm gonna pass out. Are you having that much fun? Oh, good for you, girl. Anyway, I'll let you get back to, whatever it is you're doing with him. I am exhausted from my wedding, and I'd like to spend some private time with my husband. Kelsey, wait! I am not waiting 1 second longer. Goodbye. Sadly, the bliss of Haley and Alex's wedding night didn't last much longer after that. Once she found out what kind of person Alex really was, she immediately got out of bed and told him she wanted a divorce. Alex, however, was obstinate and refusing to consent to the divorce. It seems that Alex blames her for not being able to get married to me for some reason. So, as a punishment for that supposed crime, he sentenced her to a lifetime of helping him pay off the 6-figure debt he incurred to pay his child support. Now, in most situations, what would happen next is that the unhappy couple enters divorce mediation, but this was not like most situations. Haley took his refusal to divorce her not as a punishment, but as his declaration of his intent to be with her forever. So she was actually happy about the whole thing in the end. She's currently blissfully working multiple part-time jobs during the daytime in order to help Alex very slowly pay off his debt. I'm kind of unsure how to feel about the situation. But I guess if Alex is happy that she's helping him financially and she's just as happy that he's with her, I don't know, maybe this is their version of happily ever after? All that matters to me is that I don't have to deal with either of them anymore.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.